Hello, welcome to Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 502. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a tutor episode where we try to teach you something new. What's up?
Not much.
Cool. Had some friends in town with their kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we had 3 kiddos running around this place.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it wasn't too bad. But it's also nice out, so they were outside most of the time.
I could see it get hectic when it's cold out.
We do also have the whole basement downstairs.
It's not very big. It's like a living room.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, you got to think, like, if we got rid of a lot of stuff and cleaned that up, there's, like, plenty of space to play with.
Yeah.
Because right now, Lily, like, all of her toys are just in our living room, which is half that size.
Uh-huh.
So.
That's true.
Mm.
Yeah. I went for a nice, brisk walk yesterday.
Yeah. How was that?
With my friend Brett. It was really good.
That's good.
It's nice to get out and move in the morning. And he walks a lot faster than me, so I had to keep her moving.
Nice.
My legs held up, and my legs have been cramping, so I was glad that they held up. And it was fun.
That's good.
Fun just chatting, you know, doing the thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a good time.
That's good.
Yeah.
I want to watch my cousin play softball.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. They had some really dumb rules. This is... how to put it? I understand that, like, there needs to be measures to keep kids, like, safe and whatnot. But also I feel like it gets a little ridiculous. All of the infielders had to wear masks, face masks.
I couldn't fucking believe that, dude. When I saw that, I was like, just grow up. If you get hit with a ball, you get hit with a ball.
100%.
You're going to be all right.
Right. The only person that I think should wear one is the pitcher. 100%.
I'm not even going to say 100%. If they want to, they can, but they don't have to.
Yeah. I just know. I knew some, actually, I think every pitcher that I ever had definitely got hit in the face quite often. So.
Well, be faster.
It's true. So, yeah, pitcher, understandable. The other 4, no point. Who's getting in the face at first base, second base, if you're not smart?
I mean, if you're paying attention, how do you get hit in the face?
100%.
I shouldn't say that. I'm sure it happens. You know, I'm sure you pay attention. It still happens. But, like, that's perfect. Mm-hmm. That's where people love catching it.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. It just made me think it's making kids weaker.
Oh, yeah. Everything's making kids softer.
And then
it's just softball. It's not even going to hurt that much. Just kidding.
And then they had a stupid rule where if the ball went behind, like, the fence where, like, the batters would come out, or the players would come out of their dugout, then, like, the person got to automatically go to the next base. And I was like, that's bullshit.
Wait, that's what that was?
That's what happened. That's why that girl was able to just go to home. Because the ball went slightly behind the fence.
So what?
100%. That's what I said. I was like, what? Emily said that might be a tournament specific rule, but still, I was like,
weird.
I had to run into dugouts all the time.
Yeah, that's weird.
Very weird. So, I don't know. But it was fun still. Shaun was like, man, I don't miss sports.
Bro, looked tiring. I just saw kids in cleats running, and it just flashed back me, and I'm like, boy, that was so tiring.
Mm-hmm. Good work ethic, though.
I'm fat, old, and lazy.
Yeah.
You know, now I am.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was fun. So my family was in town, and then my friends in town. It was fun. It was a busy weekend, but it was fun.
Yep.
It was busy, but not at the same time.
Yeah, it wasn't like, we weren't like super hectic. It was just a nice flow.
We weren't doing a lot of things. It was just hanging out with people.
Right.
So it was cool.
was a good time.
Mm-hmm. Went to dinner with my friends.
Oh, yeah, this was cool.
Yeah, so it was us 4 parents and then the 3 kids, so 3 under 3. And this older gentleman at the table next to us came up to us after his meal and was just like, you guys are just such good parents. Your kids behaved so well the entire dinner. Shaun and I looked at each other and were like...
Well, he said, no, he didn't. He said, you guys are... Why are you looking like that? This is a very important part of this.
I'm listening.
He said, you guys are trying really hard to give your kids the right manners in public.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not that you have good kids. He said you guys are doing the right things to make sure your kids have good manners in public.
And behaved well.
Mm-hmm.
And then he left. Our waitress came up and told us he paid for our meal. All of ours.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
So that was pretty sweet.
Yep.
It was really cool. So yeah, that was, I liked that. That was sweet.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently we're doing something, or at least someone at the table was doing something right.
Yeah.
But we all kind of like, we're correcting the kids to be nice and do proper stuff and not yell and whatever.
Yeah, not run around the restaurant like hellions.
Right.
Lily did go sauntering off for a little bit, but Shaun brought her back right away.
Yep. Reeled her in.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Cool. What do we got, babe?
Hold on. What do you got?
Do you want to do what I said?
Sure.
The difference between pushing your beliefs and defending your beliefs.
Cool.
It was just something that I've been thinking about lately, because Shaun and I, we do have very different beliefs compared to a lot of our friends, or my friends, some of our friends.
A ton of our friends.
Yeah. And so, one thing I've really noticed is Shaun and I never push what we believe in. We try to educate, which is, I think, different than pushing. But we only try that if they seem willing to listen. Otherwise, we really don't. But we are very, I would say, open people. If someone has a different view than us, we are willing to listen to them and defend why they believe what they believe, and then be well, we believe the other way because of this.
Yep.
So I think there's a very polite way to defend what you believe in. And you should be able to defend what you believe in, because if you can't come up with an answer of why you believe in that, then you probably shouldn't believe in it.
Or you just haven't put it into words yet.
Right.
I don't know if you, you can definitely believe it.
Right. But if you're just oh, I don't know. Why do you vaccinate your kids? Oh, I don't know. I just do it to do it. And you're
oh, yeah.
Right, stuff like that. That's what I'm saying when you're
yeah.
But obviously you should be able to know why you believe in what you believe in, or have an idea. Sure, you might not be able to put it in words yet, but you have an idea of why you believe in what you believe. Versus if someone pushes their beliefs, they very much don't want to listen to what your point of view is. Yeah. And they're not to get too political, but the trans movement is a very big pusher of their beliefs.
Yeah.
So, because they don't respect what the other side thinks.
Right. And they don't want to hear it out. Dude, Go ahead.
No, 100%. I love this. No, go. That's why I did this, because I wanted you to continue.
No. Well, it's predominantly liberals.
I wasn't going to say it, but Shaun did.
Here's the deal, dude. It's they will fucking throw up their beliefs. Dude, there's someone in particular I'm thinking of, and I'd love to just fucking snap their little fucking pussy soy neck. And that gives me credibility starting off. I understand. They will not listen to what you say. No matter what you say to them, they do not listen to understand. They just are in a conversation to respond. They're not listening to what you're saying. They're not willing to look into what you're saying. So they'll say some shit. And then I'll be like, yes, I understand that, but that's not true because of X, Y, Z. And then they're like, you're a bigot. You're a bigot. How about this? And I'm like, that has nothing to do with our argument or conversation. And then they're like, well, now it is. It's like, okay. So then I'll be like, well, that is irrelevant because of X, Y, Z. And they go, you're an asshole. And I go, okay, but what about my argument's wrong? Then they'll give a new argument or an argument that's not true. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but that has never been proven. That's just something you spurred off because you saw it on a headline, but it's never been proven. And they go, you're an idiot and a liar. And I go, great, but why? And they're like, how do you not believe that? And I said, because it's never been proven. You just saw it on CNN.
It was like the whole like Jillian Michaels against obese people, or the body positivity movement. Because like one of her arguments was being obese is physically unhealthy.
Right.
And all of them kept just bringing up like, but mentally I'm so much happier. And she's like, that's not my argument. My argument is physically. And they're just like, but how can you prove that being obese is more physically unhealthy? And she's like, just go to any doctor. Like, right. And there's like, but my mental health is so much better. And she just like had to keep repeating the whole time, was like, that's not my argument. Like, listen to what the argument is and fight me with that.
Right.
And they couldn't.
Right. That is the biggest thing I see is like, and I've experienced it, you've experienced it a lot. We do things that people don't agree with. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of traditional things, home births, not vaccinating, baby-led weaning, keep not sending our kids to daycare. We plan to homeschool. We run our own business. We don't just punch a 9 to 5 clock. Like, a lot of the stuff we do is not in today's standard of norm. 100 years ago, it was the norm. Mm-hmm. People will not look at that fact. And you could tell them, like, hey, well, this was, like, everything we're doing is how the world used to be.
For centuries.
For thousands of years, that's how it was.
Isn't that centuries?
Isn't century 100? Your century, yeah, century's 100.
Well, because aren't we in the 21st century? Yeah, you're right. Okay,
so for thousands of years, this is how the world worked. And they're like, no, dude, you're fucking crazy. Like real estate, rentals, mm-hmm. you name it, right? And they're like, you're crazy. And I'm just like, okay. And they're like, you need to be invested in a 401k. And I'm like, why? Because it's been around for 65 years. Yeah. Like, what are you saying? You know, and it's stuff like, you need to give your kids 76 vaccinations. Why? Well, they're going to die. Why? You're alive. You got 13. Mm-hmm. What do you mean? They need 70. You got 13. Your parents got 5. What do you mean? Your parents are still alive. Mm-hmm. Like, this doesn't even make any sense.
And they don't like understand that. Oh, I'm not gonna. Never mind. That's not about the argument.
Okay, so like, here's all these things, right? And it's like, by us having these traditional beliefs, we get a lot of flack. And we have everybody and their brother and mother tell us that what we're doing is wrong. And they don't. There's some people that will, but the majority of them do not care to hear us out.
No.
They'll be like, well, why wouldn't you vaccinate? And then you throw out a couple facts and they go, how do you know that's true? Well, I don't know, just from like research,
How do you know it's true that vaccines are safe?
Because CNN said so. But but they're like, well, they just are. And it's just like, but how do you know? And it's like, they're like, well, there's studies. And I'm like, well, then why are these studies here that show different?
Yeah. You can make a study show whatever answer you want it to show.
Especially when all of them are being paid off.
100%.
Yeah. And so it's like all these things. And they're like, well, why would you want to homeschool? Well, why would I want to send them to public school when if you watch documentaries, and we've done podcasts on it, kids are only getting stupider. They're only getting fatter. They're only becoming bigger fucking pussies. No one's got the winning mentality, or like so few kids have winning mentality now. They all have the like inclusivity mindset.
And how come they can get their shit done in 2 to 4 hours versus 8 hours?
Right. Yeah. And if they're homeschooled, they can do their stuff in 2 to 4 hours. Yeah. It's just, and then not to mention, what are your kids being influenced in school?
Who are they being influenced by?
Who are they? Absolutely. Your kids are the most malleable at a young age. Up to 26 years old, kids are the most malleable. So it's like, okay, I'm going to put my kids in school with other kids that could influence them negatively, with teachers who I do not know who could put their influences on them, or I could structure a scenario, homeschooling, where I and Sam and the people we work with and the people we trust to watch them are able to influence them with beliefs that we believe and put in good morals and values. And then when we are out at events, activities, sports, you've built a good relationship with your kid where your kid can trust you, and they come home and they go, hey, Dad, I saw this today at practice. And you go, okay, what'd you think of that, buddy? And then they tell you, and you go, okay, well, do you think that's right or wrong? And they go, well, I think it's probably wrong that Charlie stole Johnny's water bottle. Yeah, you're right. It probably is wrong. Maybe we don't hang out with Charlie.
Yeah.
Maybe we hang out with Johnny and not Charlie.
Yeah. And also, like, here's, like, one of the main things is we're trying to defend our point of view here, not push our beliefs. I heard you fall.
Yeah, big
Anyways.
sets.
Why do you think that when your kid's in school, they're with that group of people for 8 hours a day, and then they probably spend a max of 3-4 hours with their family?
Right.
I mean, once they get older, obviously they'll spend more time because they'll be like more awake and whatnot. But still, let's say they spend a max of 5 hours with their parents.
I don't think that even that, because then sports come into play.
That's true.
I mean, you're really
but
talking
still,
a few hours a
5
day.
versus 8 hours.
Not even 5. I get it though.
Or we can do 4 because then it's half.
Okay.
So half the time. So you're telling me that your kids are going to trust you more than they trust their teachers that they spend double the time with?
Or their friends, their peers, whatever it may be.
100%. Like, I think it's a way for them to make it so your kids don't trust the parents.
There's multiple documentaries, there's multiple books, there's multiple speeches on them doing that for a reason, so that the kids are indoctrinated in the system instead of being a strong family unit. It's very hard to split apart a strong family unit.
Yes. And, like, you want to be able to have your kids come to you for anything. But if they don't spend the majority of the time with you, then why would they?
Right.
Anyways, besides the point. So, the difference between defending your beliefs and pushing your beliefs. as you can see, we're trying to defend our beliefs, not push. What I think pushing is more is, let's say, I mean, we have friends that are going to send their kids to public school. We don't we don't tell them like, oh, your kids are going to become stupid if you don't homeschool them, or you don't spend nearly as much time with your kids because they're at a public school versus being homeschooled. Like, we don't do any of that.
No.
A lot of times, like, we only discuss it if they bring it up.
Yes.
And that's like how I think it really should be, is like, I mean, if you're curious about like what their beliefs are, but then you can ask them like some questions of like, oh, like, why do you think you should homeschool your kids? But don't just immediately be like, why would you homeschool your kids? Like, that's so dumb. They're going to become so weird. Put them in public school so then they get
no socialization.
Yes. Exactly. Because that is just, we all should believe in different things. If we didn't have different opinions, then the world would be, honestly, probably trash. It's not good for everyone to believe the same singular thing. Then that means there's not free thinkers and we're all just followers. And we need free thinkers in order to survive, to be honest. Because if you're just a follower and you come to a challenge, let's say the power supply goes down. If you're just a follower, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Just hang out and be like, oh, the power will come back on. It'll be fine. Like, I trust the government. They'll know what to do, blah, 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 blah. A free thinker would immediately be like, well, good thing I have this generator because I was prepared for whenever the power goes out. Mm-hmm. So then I can keep my meat good. Our fridge is still good. And if it's winter out, like, we still have heat. Cool. So the world needs these free thinkers that aren't just following everything that everyone says. So I guess the main reason why I wanted to discuss this was to make sure you're having open conversations about it, if you want, about anything. But also, like, make sure you're willing to, like, hear the other side out and, like, understand. Like, I totally understand why people want to send their kids to public school. Like, especially nowadays, like, we're made differently. And not everyone is, I think, not everyone, like, mentally, I think, is good enough to be with their kids all day long.
Yeah, it's like anything, right?
We're all built different. We're all have different qualities. So obviously, like, if you're a hypochondriac, yeah, maybe getting some vaccines are good for you because then you don't have to worry about it. So I said some.
Well, debatable, but okay.
But, like, you and I are understanding of both sides. We still have our beliefs, but we still, like, understand why people would think the other side.
Can I give Joe Rogan's quote?
Yeah, please.
Before COVID, I would have told you that vaccines are the most important invention in human history. After COVID, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon, and I think Michelle Obama's got a dick. And the thing is, dude, before COVID, Sam and I were both pro-vaccine.
We were.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And we were, 4 years ago, you asked me what to do with kids, I'd hands down public school. You got to send your kids to public school. But I wouldn't push it on people. I would just say, I believe you got to send your kids to public school because it's like I went to public school and it was great. You know what I'm saying? I had a good time in public school. I had a lot of good friends. I think it's great. Okay. Well, COVID happened and a lot of people started bringing things to light. And I started truly doing a lot of research because now things affected me. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know, fast forward or rewind 4 years before or 3 years before COVID, I started doing steroids. The amount I knew about steroid use was a lot because it directly affected me. So I researched, Sam can vouch for this. I would literally fucking read and take notes and like study steroids for hours a day.
He had a notebook of just steroid notes.
Just like hours of research into the usage of steroids because it directly affected my life. Well, then COVID and the vaccine thing happened, and it started to affect our lives. So we started looking into it. And then we started talking about having kids. So we started looking into that. And the more things we looked into, the more we were like, oh, fuck. This is all a lie.
And we already weren't very doctor heavy people anyways.
No.
But like, I mean, I got like the HPV vaccine shortly into us starting to date. But I had like no reason to like question it.
Right.
And like now they're like, might not be as great as we thought.
Right. Yeah. There's a ton of shit like that.
But yeah, I was a microbiology major, so like that was a huge thing, was like learning about vaccines and why they're so good and beneficial. And honestly, I think I started really questioning things when I couldn't get a job in microbiology, to be honest.
Yeah.
So when I started, it took me 7 years to get my degree. So that is a huge proponent to this. So when I started my degree, I looked into it, and like with a bachelor's, I could be in a lab, and that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be in a lab. When I ended, all of a sudden I needed a certificate, a lab certificate, in order to be in a lab.
2 year?
A 2-year.
2-year lab certificate. And you didn't even need a microbiology degree. You
No.
could have just went and got that 2-year certificate.
100%. So in 7 years, that changed.
Right.
So then I was like, okay, well, if you only need this lab certificate to be in a lab.
But you have to have it.
Yes.
You can't have a microbiology degree and just be in it. You have to have the certificate.
Yeah, my degree meant nothing.
Wild.
Yeah, my degree meant nothing.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything with it unless if I went and got my doctorate or got that 2-year certificate.
Right. So a bachelor's degree was like pointless.
100%.
Yeah.
So in 7 years, that changed. And I was like, man, like, I had to like learn all this stuff about doing studies, writing papers, all this stuff. And that means nothing?
Nothing.
I was like, that's weird. And so like that just really kind of put a damper on things for me. And then it was 2-3 years later, COVID happened. And immediately, about 6 months in, it just felt weird to me. Like, I was just like, this just doesn't make sense, like, what they're saying. And I was like, plus it's summertime now, so, like, it shouldn't be spreading that much, all that shit. And then it became a year, or close to a year, and they're like, oh, it's the first, like, mutation change. Like, now it's COVID beta or whatever it was. And I was like, viruses actually mutate really fast. That's why they say the flu, like, at the beginning of the season is not the same flu at the end of the season. And I was like, so that's weird. And I was like, I mean, maybe, like, this virus doesn't mutate very fast, but, like, you think of, like, the telephone game and, like, how a sentence can change from the end to the beginning.
Right.
It's just like that. And then they were like, we came out with this new vaccine. And I was like, nope, that's the big NO for me. How do you trust this? You can't make one that fast.
Right.
And so that is what put me in a spiral. And then they started pushing it.
Right.
Like, you have to have this in order to do anything. You have to have this in order to go to a concert. And I was like, now See, that's where I had the problem. Because
Right.
when I was pro-vaccines, I didn't care if you didn't want vaccines as long as you like knew the risks, you were educated about it. I didn't care.
Right.
I'd be like, I think they're beneficial, but you do you. Whatever. So then when they're like, you have to do this, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is where we draw the line. This is where, like, issues come along. So that was my whole process of that. So it goes to show, like, even over time, what you learn about something can be completely different 10 years down the road. Because I was so pro-vaccine. And very quickly, like, new information came out. I started looking more into it. And it was very skeptical. But I wouldn't have been able to do that if I wasn't open-minded.
Okay. Yes. So the two things that I'll add to that that is very accurate is it goes to show you who is open-minded and who is closed-minded. And most of the people we're talking about who are unable to have a conversation cordially and who push, I shouldn't say cordially, who are unable to not push their beliefs are not the open-minded people. The open-mindedness only accounts for some 1/3 of the whole world population. Only 1/3 of the population is open-minded, 2/3 is closed-minded. 1/3 is able to kind of live on their own path or have somewhat of a say. 2/3 are strictly followers. Okay? And you see that very much by this. Everyone knew the anti-vaxxers, not to make this whole podcast about it, but it's a great example, were hippie liberal chicks. It was hippie liberal chicks. I listened,
So many celebrities.
so many subjects. I listened to a book that was pre-COVID about like liberal women. It was about anti-vaxxing, and it was all these liberal women's point of view. And this is before COVID, okay? And I had listened to it, I think, like the summer of COVID. So like summer 2020, I listened to this book. And it was super funny to me because I was like, wait a second. Or this would have been summer 2021. Yes, summer 2021. So when like it was being pushed by people to take vaccines. And I'm listening to this book that was written pre-COVID. And it was funny because they were talking how like the people that were in these vaccination groups are all hippie liberal women. And they're all in the anti-vaxxer groups. Well, I was laughing because I was like, boy, how things have changed. Those same groups, those same people that were all anti-vaxxers, and we knew multiple of them personally, were now on the opposite end going, you have to get your COVID vaccine. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You didn't even get your kids any vaccinations. And now you're telling me I got to get them? You didn't even get your kids any. And now you're signing up to get your kids the COVID vaccine? I'm like, how much of a follower are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally switched you didn't switch teams. You followed your teams into opposite beliefs. So you're such a follower. You're such a 2/3 of the population that you followed your team into complete opposite values and beliefs to what you had. That's how big of a follower you are.
And that just like goes to the point of making sure you understand and know the reason why you're doing things.
But when I'm with you, what I'm saying is I legitimately do not think 2/3 of the population is capable of that.
Right? I mean, I just say that because, like, obviously, because it was within a year that those people switched.
Correct.
So, obviously, like, there was no way for them to be, like, give you a good reason of why they didn't give their kids any of the other vaccines, but then, like, COVID vaccine was okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the only thing I can come up with, and like to go on to the whole like pushing your beliefs versus like defending them. You know, my big saying of like be a lighthouse. So that's part of this podcast is like I'll sit here and I'll tell you guys my beliefs. I'll tell you what I've learned. I'll tell you my personal experiences. You can take that information and do with whatever you would like. I can't track you down and change your mind. I can't convince you to save your money. I can't convince you to eat healthy and exercise. I fucking just 2 weeks ago, a week or something, having a conversation with a gal about like, instead of Ozempic, why don't you just eat healthy and exercise? And they're like, fuck that. And I was like, okay, then I cannot help you. I've got nothing. I can't even contribute to this conversation anymore because like you come to me, you came to me with your problems or your situation. I tell you how I would fix it. And then you go, fuck that. I don't like that answer. I go, okay, great. I can't help you then. Please don't throw up your problems on me because I just told you how to solve them.
I just love the clapback too of you just don't understand.
You said, no. Here's the deal. I do. Okay? I have also had moments of weakness. And I still have moments of weakness. And you got to really work on not having those and being disciplined. You know? And it's difficult. It's very difficult. And it's not fun. You know? But I don't understand.
But you know what is fun? Being able to move and not be in pain.
Not be miserable.
Yeah.
So anyways, my whole point behind that is like being a lighthouse and defending your position if somebody brings stuff up to you is great. But you cannot change their mind. You cannot make them do whatever they want. So I know this will not help in that scenario because I truly do not believe that 2/3 of the population is even capable of understanding.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I honestly think they're just I don't think nature-wise they're capable of being free thinkers.
Yeah.
The more I go in, I used to think in life that I used to think almost everything was nurture. That almost anyone could overcome anything and do anything.
Oh, it's so much nature.
Dude, the more I go, I honestly think it's nature. I think so much of it is, I think 2/3 of the population is just followers. And I don't think you can change that.
No.
I don't know, dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, but were you... I would say I was definitely a follower for the longest time. You can get out. It's hard. But you have to have the right influences. You have to have the right nature around you, though.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. You could change.
But your nature has to change around you. But the issue is the majority of the population is followers. So the majority will be followers until somehow the free thinkers can overcome.
I guess the only way you could get free thinking is those 2/3 of followers have to follow somebody into the habits of free thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's true. Because I do know people who tend to lead as followers that through the right prompting and the leadership, they've been able to come out of their shell and do the things they need to do.
I think
they need influence.
Yeah, part of the issue is like so many like free thinkers just like to be with people that also think like them.
That makes sense because it's a lot easier to be with people who can like actually think and whatever than it is to be with just follow. Yeah.
But I mean, look at like people around us. There's definitely some people around us because like sometimes we'll just like throw little snippets of things at people and we just kind of like see how they react and then we'll either keep going or back off depending.
Yeah, I do that in almost every conversation I have.
And we've had more friends now that have like slowly but surely years later have been like, I think you're onto something.
Oh yeah, dude. there's nothing that brings me more joy than bringing up some wild shit.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing up some crazy shit. And then, like, 5 years later, they're like, I think you might have been onto something.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah. Or 5 years later, it comes out it's true. And I'm like, yeah, dude, pretty crazy. So then what I do is I layer on.
Yeah.
I throw on the next level thing. And they're like, you're fucking crazy. And I'm like, but I've already been right once. You wait.
You just wait.
Just wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my favorite, dude.
So,
It's Pizzagate.
Yes.
When Pizzagate came out, I'm like, hey guys, have you seen this shit? And people are like, you're fucking crazy. It's all fake, whatever. And now it's came out that like Pizzagate was real.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh yeah, well that was just Epstein stuff. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. It still was real.
Mm-hmm.
So then I drop the next layer on them, like we didn't go to the moon.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're crazy. We clearly went to the moon. And I'm like, is it clear? Is it? And I'll just get...
I will say, just random.
Yeah.
I think a lot more people believe we didn't land on the moon than think we have.
I honestly think so, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that's one of the things that it is an overwhelming majority do not think we landed.
All you have to do is look at the first footprint on the moon and the boot next to it. Mm-hmm. There's the boot next to the first footprint.
And they're not the same.
And they are not the same. There's grooves in the footprint and the boot is flat. And it's like, it's in a fucking museum. Mm-hmm. It's like, dude, is this a joke? It's like
Did they change it now?
I don't know. It's like they put it there. It's like they put it there just to fuck with us.
Oh, 100%, dude. Anyways, sorry guys. We're this was kind of also a Let's Rant podcast a little bit, but that's okay. You all know what our beliefs are, so it's not like it matters. But what we're trying to say is, if you are even on the same team as us, maybe you're not, don't try pushing your ideas, your beliefs. Just slowly, always be open. Always be open to people. Be open to other ideas. Because there have been times, like, where Shaun and I would be like, are we in the wrong? Like, are we crazy on this? Or, like, should we stick with our guns? And thankfully, we've stuck with a lot of the things that we've always believed in, and they're slowly coming true. But still, we are very open to things, and we are always willing to listen to others. But, like, we're not willing to lose friends or anything over, like, what we believe. We'll always be a little more strategic with what we say to our friends that we do like that maybe have different views, because we know some of them won't change their minds. But we don't go and try pushing what we believe.
So here's the picture or whatever. There's the thing. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is it still there or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Their argument is they put on rubber soles over for traction, but they were heavy, so they left them on the moon.
Okay.
Because they don't have those. I would think you would have the outers as well. This is what touched the soil the first. But what do I know, dude? Anyhow, keep going.
Oh, I was done.
Oh, yep. That's what we got, folks.
Try to be a free thinker. Actually, be a free thinker. Don't try. Be. Always make sure you can defend what you believe in, but don't be too aggressive with it.
Do you think people can change, right?
People can change.
People can change. People can change.
People can change. Go and follow the political mixer. I think that's her handle.
I don't know who that is.
She was very into trans, and then she realized she's just a tomboy.
Oh man. Oh man. I know who this is.
So now she has, I think it's called Defend the Tomboy Project. Or Protect the Tomboy Project.
Nothing like AC popping on. This is what I'll say.
But yes, follow her. She's cool.
200 years ago, 88%. This could be all fucking fake, dude. Who knows? At this point, I don't know if I believe any stats anymore. 200 years ago, 88% of the population was self-employed or business owners. So I guess
What changed?
control. But besides that, I think what I'm getting at is, what if they've just done studies and fabricated them with actors to tell us that 2/3 of the population is followers? What if we've only became followers because we've been going to public school and we've like learned to be followers?
100%, that's why.
Yeah, because
That's why they started public school, was to create more factory workers.
yeah, because they didn't have enough people who were just willing to punch a clock because too many people were. So technically, probably almost everybody's a free thinker. They've just been so trained into being a follower that they just follow mindlessly. But if they were trained to be free thinkers, we would go back to a scenario where almost everybody ran their own life. Mm-hmm. Interesting. It might be nurture. I'm moving away. I'm moving back away from my thought that more things are nature. I still think a lot of your personality is nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nurture would be
what you're born with.
No. Nature is what you're born with. Nurture is your surroundings.
Yeah, you're right.
So I actually think, now that we discussed that, I think nature plays a ton of role in who you are. I think it plays a ton of role in like what you're maybe gifted as right off the bat, how your brain kind of works. But nurture actually may play a big role in how you see the world.
Yes. 100%.
You know, damn. All right, go out there, get good influences, become a free thinker, and please, 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 before you push your thoughts on others, either hear them out and actually listen, or do some research on the counterpart. Because Sam and I didn't just research only one side of our beliefs.
No.
I've literally listened to books about hippie chicks and anti-vaxxing. I listened to the other sides. I want to know what they're thinking.
Wait, was the book that they didn't like the anti-vaxxers?
No, the book was about how
like why the hippie chicks became anti-vaxxers?
No. Oh. It was about algorithms and being pushed to believe things that you might not have necessarily believed. It was about how easily you can be put into groups and influenced by groups through like algorithms and shit.
Interesting. What book is this?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But it had a lot to do with like social media and how social media targets you, and then you get put into these echo chambers. Mm. And so like the examples were like they looked on their computer to research anti-vaxxing, and then Facebook was just like throwing them all this information, like all these groups about anti-vaxxers, and their whole echo chamber was just anti-vaxxing.
Yeah.
And how good anti-vaxxing is and how bad vaccinations are and stuff. And the person was predominantly anti-vax.
Okay.
They just like didn't like that they couldn't, that social media made it so that's all they saw.
Also, make sure you can do this stuff person to person. Don't become some keyboard warrior who only defends or pushes their beliefs on the internet. hold up your own in person too. Stop being a pussy. Okay, that's what I got.
Gang, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.